Okay, welcome to the Recreational Trails Program RTP Application Portal. This is new this year, and all applications from here on out will be submitted through this program. And this is a tutorial on how to submit your application, all the information that's required from last year's application is the same this year. It's just the format that you're submitting it in will be different this time around. But I wanted to show you how to submit an application for the Recreational Trails Program. This is my tester account, so it may look a little bit different on your end, but largely the process is the same here. So after you sign in and create your own account for your municipality that you represent, you'll be able to see these funding opportunities, and you'll see Land and Water Conservation Fund and then Recreational Trails Grant. So we'll open the Recreational Trails Program here, and you'll see that we can start a new application over here. It shows me some of the other applications that have been submitted, but you guys won't be able to see that. But these are just all test applications at this point in time. So you can see the funding opportunity here. So this is the Recreational Trails Program for 2021, FY22 funds. The deadline for this application period is September 3rd, 2021 for this year. And here's my contact info up here if you ever need to call me, that kind of thing. We have a brief description of the program and all that entails. We have an overview down here that you can select and get more information about the Recreational Trails Program. If you have more questions about it, you can always contact me as well. And we have a link to our website down here. So we're going to start a new application this time around. And we can start by punching in an application title. I'm just going to call this NGPC test. And we'll select myself here as the primary contact, and then see, it doesn't allow you to fill these quite out yet. You just have to click Save Form Information. And now it'll let us fill out the next one here. So since I'm affiliated with NGPC in the system, it automatically selects that for me, and I'll click Save Form again. And then if there are additional users in here that you would like to add on here, so like for example, I would like Skylar Sampson to be a part of this grant as well. And so that way he will also be notified of any updates throughout this grant process as well from the system. And later on, you can add, a consultant that you might be working with in the future and that kind of thing. So they're also made aware of updates as you progress through a Recreational Trails Program grant. So I'm going to click Continue, save this form, and then it'll bring us to this page here. So see, it'll give us the grant number and has the title of our grant that we named. And then over here is a list of all the components of the application that need to be filled out, and it says whether or not it's complete. And you'll notice that general information, which we just completed, is done. And then we have these ones down here left to do. So we'll start with the RTP application then. And so here is where you put in your project description for your project. For the sake of time, I'm just going to put test in because all it needs to do is you need to have some text in there to fill the required box there. So, but typically you put in a brief description of your project, length of the trail that's being proposed, that kind of thing, and whatnot. So, and then legal description, section township range of the area that your trail is going to be in. But typically you look that up and provide that. Name of the project, I'm just going to call this the NGPC Trail Test. Name of the sponsor, NGPC. We are a state government organization. You'll notice there's a number of different organizations in here, just like the one that represents the sponsor. project location, go and find the actual latitude and longitude generally of where this project's located. It helps us identify where exactly this project's at, everything outside of just the section township range, but we'll stick those coordinates in there for now. The municipality that is closest to the project, I'm just going to put Monowee in there. I don't know if you guys have ever been there before, but that's nice. And then we'll say, I don't know what county it's in technically, but let's say it's in Brown County. Enter in your congressional district and your representative. Same thing with your legislative district and representative. Check the classification of the land that this project's going to be on. For us, we'll probably most likely have public property land that we already own on it, but be sure to select the correct descriptor there if you can. Permissible use categories. So most trail projects that we get are construction of new trail. Sometimes that can include acquisition as well. So if you need to select more than one, hold the control key and then click, and that will allow you to select more than one permissible uses on there. And then describe whether this is going to be a motorized, non-motorized, or diversified use trail. So this is going to be a non-motorized trail in this instance for this test. And in here, you would typically put whichever permitted uses you'll foresee having on the trail. So whether it's bicycling, equestrian only, mixed use, or non-motorized mixed use, or motorized mixed use, depending on the type of your trail. And then in here, just put in the estimated completion date. Know that these are FY22 projects, so most likely these projects would begin construction in late 22 and end in potentially 2023 and maybe even 2024, depending on the size and scope of the project. You can back out to years if you want to here. And we'll just say this is going to be done in October 2022 or September, excuse me. We'll make it October 1st. There we go. But just get as good an estimate as you can, and you don't have to be held by this estimated completion date, but you should be honest with it and the challenges that are involved with the project. So you can see here we have opportunity to review the application portion here. So you can see the information that we put in here is visible. And then what we need to do now that this section is complete is mark this as complete. And it'll take us back to this page here, and you can now see that this section is complete. Note that it will not let you mark that RTP application complete, and as well as some of the other sections here, until you fill out all the information that it requests in there, all the required information anyways. So if you have trouble with getting a section to be marked complete, just go back and make sure that you have every bit of information filled out, because you might just be missing one little piece there. So we'll move on to the next step here. We'll go to the RTP application checklist. So this is where we're going to be uploading a bunch of different documents that we require for the grant application. So to start off with, I recommend that you take some photographs of the area that this potential trail might be, or existing trail if you're doing a maintenance or rehabilitation of a trail area. And so what you do is you click add a new attachment, select file, and we're going to just upload this picture of the license plate that recently came out and use that for pretty much all of our file attachments. But upload multiple photos if you would like, and put a description in there for each of them. And I'm just going to label it test for now, for the sake of time. Okay, now you can see our file is uploaded there with our description and type of file and the size of the file and when it was uploaded. And you can delete it if you accidentally upload multiple of the same one, that kind of thing. For land ownership, if you are acquiring a piece of property potentially, or have acquired a piece of property, upload those kinds of documents here. again, for now, we're just gonna stick in the license plate image. And so adding that image or document would fill the requirement for this box here. Letters of support, upload any letters of support that you might have. So again, we'll add our license plate image there. Okay, now we've got more items here. So we have a brief description of some of these items that are required. Note for any lease documents that might be needed, those have to be 25 years minimum for non-motorized and 10 years for motorized. And project resolutions that you upload, they must be signed prior to the September grant deadline. Late resolutions aren't going to be accepted. If you have wage schedule for employees, if you're using in-kind match, that kind of thing, make sure you have that. And if you're utilizing equipment rates, that kind of thing, utilize the NDOT rental rate document for that, which is located on their website, and you can use their rates for in-kind match. But so here you can see the various attachments that we'll need as well. Whether or not they're required for submission of the application depends on which one. So if you are requesting a waiver of the $250,000 maximum grant award, this is where you'd upload that, but we're not doing that in this case. So we'll move on to the next one, the letter of financial commitment. So this is just basically saying a document saying that you have the match on hand and you're committed to spending that match for this project. Again, we'll just enter in our license plate image as a placeholder. So now you can see that is uploaded here. So narrative and supplemental documentation. This is where you would upload any narrative that you want to include along with outside of the project description. Here you can talk about kind of your trail group that you might be working with and their efforts in the past and that kind of thing, and talk about the trail and why it's important to the community in the area and all that. So this is where that would go. But again, we're just putting our placeholder in there. Okay, maintenance plan. So include one of those if you have it. And I highly recommend that you include a maintenance plan when you're applying for Recreational Trails Program. It's not a required document, but we do like seeing those in there. Site plan, development, acquisition, or combination of A and B. So again, just I'm gonna put in a license plate in there as a placeholder. And then plat map, you usually get these from county or assessor websites, showing land ownership, etc. Put in our placeholder. Floor plan, it's optional. Lease, if you do have one, existing or proposed. I recommend with recreational trails projects that you don't acquire any property until after your project is approved for funding and you've gone through the training, because that'll involve information regarding Uniform Act and proper acquisition process and all that stuff. So those are both not required documents, but if you have them, please do upload them. Project resolution. So this is that note from your city council saying that you're committed to the project and you're invested in applying for RTP funding. And we have an example resolution if you need to use one for a template. Itemized cost estimate. So if you're working with a consultant, please upload any itemized cost estimates that you might have received in here. So this will talk about mobilization costs and construction costs and permitting costs and design costs, all broken out in there. Wage schedule employees, list of equipment, comprehensive planning or other documentation, and railroad information. Those are all not required to get you through this section, but if you have any of those items, please do include them if they are permissible to you or And then we move on to environmental forms. So this is like if you have any stormwater protection permit already, or any environmental documents that you've already obtained, please upload those here. So I'm going to mark this as complete. And so now see our RTP application checklist is complete. Additional attachments, this is for any other miscellaneous items. You may or may not have some. It is a required form, so you'd have to upload something. If you don't have something, just upload a document or a photo or something like that of the trail. Again, we'll just put in a test for now, but it will not let you submit or mark this as complete unless you do have an attachment in there. So please just put something in there if you don't really need anything anyways, just upload a photo of some kind. So mark that as complete. All right, the environmental review. Again, this is all estimated involvement. This is not part of the NEPA process or anything like that. That all comes after approving your project. This is just what you foresee potentially being involved in the project. So is this project on a new alignment? No. And then we have this comment box here. You can further elaborate what each of these items may be involved with this project. So for most of these, I'm just going to put random answers. So don't follow them, and be sure to answer them to the best of your knowledge. So. On this one, if you are going to be relocating any person's businesses or farms, which I highly doubt is going to happen on our RTP project, just know that another box comes up there if you do select that. Let's see if I can spell. Okay, so now it allows us to save this form, and then we should be able to review it before marking it as complete. So look through our answers and make sure they're all correct to the best of our ability or knowledge. And then you can re-edit the form if you need to go back and change something. So I'm going to mark it as complete for now. Okay, now we're going to the next environmental review, any possible effects for these here. Okay, and down here we have a box that you need to read through and just say that you've answered these to the best of your ability, and write in your political subdivision. Just gonna put NGPC for us and my name and today's date. Okay, mark this as complete. And I'm sorry to clarify on the environmental review conclusion, most of your answers will be no, depending on the project and its impact on the natural environment. Because it's asking if it's going to significantly impact the natural environment or not, or the project area in the general vicinity. So, but I'm going to mark that as complete. See, now we've got that one marked as complete, and we move on to the RTP budget. Here we enter how much you are requesting from the Recreational Trails Program for funding. Again, the maximum for most people is $250,000. So we're going to put that in there. It can be a number below, it can be a number above, but again, if you're requesting above, you have to submit that letter requesting the waiver of that maximum. So in here, you need to, and then click Save Form. And that'll allow you to get on to the next section here. Okay, so for construction, you click Add a Row here, and you can type in a description here and say the construction costs for the project end up being $150,000. We'll save that row. And I would recommend that you be as specific as you can on the description and breakdown of each of these items if possible. That would be very helpful. But these are the different general areas of funding for a recreational trails program. You have construction, you have right-of-way acquisition, and then you have engineering here. So for acquisitions, most projects don't really have any cost for acquisitions, but you would say, if there's going to be a small fee for doing an easement on someone's property, you can do that there. We'll say that this is $100. Save that. Okay, and then engineering fees. We'll add a row here, and you can try to be as specific as you can. You can add multiple rows as well if you want to break out your permitting and your preliminary engineering and then final engineering, construction engineering. But you can just do a general one as well. So we'll do that. And let's say that this is, I don't know, $100,000. Okay, and then for the matching share, this is the amount of money you have to have on hand to apply to have a suitable match for the project. And so, for example, we can say we have $50,000 in donations, and they can say they're from Friends of the Trail. Okay, you can see we have each of our items in here. And again, you can add additional rows if you wish. But for this, we're not going to do that. So page, okay. We got our $50,000 from a friend of the trail. And so down here, see, it'll show us our match, we'll show our total construction costs, acquisition costs, engineering costs, and total project costs is theoretically going to be $250,000, $250,100. And then it shows the sponsor match here. So mark this as complete. Let's see, we have our checkbox there now. And then we have our final certification. So read through the statement, sign your name, put in today's date, save. Okay. Just so you know, you have this option here to see the project map. I think it goes off the address that you put in for the applicant in there. Now you can see, let's go back to that application here. Now you can see we have all of our items are complete. It says our application is in compliance and ready for submission. Let's preview the application. So this is where we just were here. You can see all of our information that we typed in. This is very similar to what I see on the back end too when you submit an application. see all, here's our files that we uploaded. Make sure they all made it. Answer to our environmental forms and our budget. So all that's in there. If you need to, you can ask a question. So these questions are open to everybody to see, and anyone that is applying for this funding opportunity can see them, which is a great thing because, you know, I'm sure as we go through this new system, there's gonna be many of the same questions. So you can post your question, and then I will answer them when I find the answer to them, and hopefully this will be a helpful tool for you all, so you can see kind of a history of frequently asked questions type of thing. So you can do that, but for now, let's see here. Submit an application, go here. Back to edit the application here, and then here's our submit application button. So we're going to do that. Please confirm that you want to submit. Click submit. Okay, and there we go. So we have submitted our application, and should be able to see it in here. I think it'll be a little bit different on your guys' side, but this, because this is our tester account, but that should do it. I think if you guys have any questions, give me a call, and good luck with applying this year. Hopefully we don't have too many bugs or issues with this new program, but I think it'll work out. So give me a call if you have any questions again, and best of luck applying this year, and we'll see you in November for scoring. All right, take it easy.